Hi, welcome to the Penguin Post newspaper by kids. Today we are interviewing Olga Nova. She used to teach a bunch of astronauts to speak Russian for when you go to the ISS International Space Station. I think that's pretty awesome.
When you first started to teach astronauts, what did you feel?
I felt very exciting. That was very exciting and it was very interesting task. And I was nervous, of course, because I never taught an astronaut. I never saw the astronaut face to face. So, and I knew that they're extraordinary people. They're very smart. They're very dedicated. And so it was a lot of feeling, excitement and proud that I was chosen, and an anxiety and being nervous, but it's very challenging task. So all in all, I was very happy to get to this assignment.
How did you prepare for teaching them?
So I have to prepare my own materials because there were not much in America at this point. So no textbooks, especially no flashcards, when you can learn the word, see the picture, learn the word. So I bought American flashcards and I put tape over and wrote Russian words for those words. I also made my own grammar posters. I made up my own exercises for grammar, and also I bought a bunch of for instance, food items, and so for them to learn and to learn it in an exciting and interesting way, because we played a lot of games like race for the food. Whatever I say in Russian, they need to run, and whoever gets the correctly pick up the vegetable or whatever type of food I named, that team wins. They race each other in pairs.
What would you say the first step to learning Russian?
Well, the first step would be learning alphabet, to learn how to read. And there are some letters that looks exactly like they are in English alphabet, and they pronounce the same, almost the same. Like T is T. So, but some look the same, but pronounce completely different. And Tori probably know a bunch of those words. So the first step would be to learn alphabet and learn how to read. And to learn how to read in Russian is not that difficult, though Russian language is very hard, difficult to learn, just in general, but to learn how to read, it's not that difficult. As far as you know letters, you learn your letters and you start reading. Whatever you see, pretty much what you say.
How did you keep the astronauts motivated?
How to keep motivated, yeah. So first of all, most of them were motivated from the beginning, because a lot of them want to fly to the Mir station, because at first there was no international space station. And there were a big class of new astronauts that were recruited. So they all were excited for possibility to go to the international space stations that have been built. And they participated in the build of the station, in the building of the station. So in the assembly, I would say. And well, giving them different tasks. And as I said, also I try to make it fun as much as possible. You know, when you're having fun, learning is much easier. So that's...
How many launches have you gone to?
What? Oh, launches. I went to 3 launches. One was day launch and 2 were nighttime launch. And because launches calculated, the mathematicians and astronomers and scientists calculate when the shuttle have to be launched to reach the orbit in the precise time to connect with the International Space Station. So that time depends. That launch time depends on that calculations. So sometimes launches are done in the morning, sometimes during the day, so, and sometimes at night. And I saw three launches totally, and two of them were night launches, and they're very, very beautiful. It's a lot of light and flame and sound. It's very exciting.
Which ones stand out most?
Well, that's well, I think the first one stand out most because the crew invited me. I was their instructor, and then they invited me to come and see they are going to space, and that was very special for me. And I was even like minute before the launch, I got very scared for them. I didn't want anything go wrong or something happen. So I was really scared. I was surprised uh, about my feeling at this time. But the first launch is very, very exciting because you never experience anything like that in your life.
Did you notice any patterns in the astronaut's speed of learning?
In what? In pattern in what?
In the astronaut's speed of learning?
Speed of learning? Uh, no, every person learns differently. So, you know, everybody, some may learn letters faster than others, but some people get grammar faster than others. So the astronauts, they are all very smart people, very determined, very motivated. So just in general, they were willing to learn. And you know, if you willing to learn, learning goes faster. If you don't want to learn, nobody, not even the best teacher in the world, can force you to learn something if you don't want to.
What's the most common way that the astronauts became interested in being
Oh, okay.
astronauts?
Well, I don't, well, I think the desire to explore, they all dream big. They are very interested in science. They are very interested in flying. As you know, not all of them are pilots. However, the commander of the shuttle is always pilot from the military, either from Navy or Air Force. So, but even, and there are astronauts who are engineers, doctors, chemists, they're geologists, physicists. I had even one guy in my class who was veterinarian. So, and this guy invited the group of dogs to witness the launch. And those dogs were in training being their service dogs. So on the first row, on the bleachers, if you ever saw the shuttle launch or any rocket launch, there is a bleachers, and in front of the bleachers, there is a big clock that counts the minutes and seconds before the launch. So there is a bleachers there standing in front of it, and dogs were sitting on the first row. There were several of them. So they're just all people who are interested in science, all people who are dreaming big and have, you know, interested in different fields of science.
What were some challenging moments that you had to go through?
Challenging, where? Repeat, please.
What were some challenging moments you had to go through?
Oh, challenging moments. Okay, so after I was teaching just separate lessons, I was asked to create a course, immersion course. This type of courses, when you go to the classroom for the entire day and you go for several days, usually it is a week. Imagine sitting in the math class or any class or English class for 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. So, and do you think it's easy? probably not very easy to concentrate and to teach. So therefore, I needed to create a course that was interesting and so that I can engage them and not to lose their interest and to have fun and of course for them to learn, to have some good experience, learning experience and interacting experience between themselves and with me.
Have you ever met a famous astronaut?
Well, I think all astronauts are famous. So, and I met all astronauts who were in training from 1994 to 2000. And there were a lot of them. So I trained the first um, American astronaut who spent most time, Shannon Lucid at this time. She spent the most time in the space. Jerry Leninger, Charlie Precourt, um, Scott Parazinski. So there is a lot. Also, uh, I also was a trainer for the crew of Columbia. Unfortunately, that crew died during the descent, and their shuttle burned and fall in pieces to earth, and that was very sad moment. So but yeah, I pretty much taught all astronauts during these times. They're all famous for because every mission has their own goals, and depending what the goal is, the astronauts are training for their specific mission, if that is an experiment or maybe to release the satellite. As you know, the space station has a robotic arm. It is outside of the space station of the shuttle, but operations done from inside. So somebody who will be capable of releasing satellites needs to operate that robotic arm. So that person will spend a lot of hours on in the simulator to train how to do that.
What is your advice on how kids can prepare to become astronauts?
To study well, I think and to be interested in different areas, in math, in science, in physics, in chemistry, because as I said there are people from many professions who flew in space, and we don't know. So what else will be needed? Biologists, definitely, because they do a lot of biological experiments there. So, and, you know, they're being out of the, as of December, there were 596 or 65 astronauts, and 65 of them are women. And out of these 65 women, 50 are from America. So you may be the next. And guess what? So far, none of the women have been to the moon. So maybe you will be this girl who would go to the moon.
That was so cool. We learned a lot from you, and thank you for your time. Bye.
Thank you very much. You're such a nice group of girls. Good luck to you. Oh, I want to show you something. This is from NASA. Thank you very much. And and this was presented to me. I have a lot of them in my office, but I pick one that's here in Florida, or in California. The rest of them are in Florida, but they are signed, and that is from the astronaut office gave to me. So it's very excited to work for NASA, either as an astronaut or a scientist. Okay, good luck.